What's up, everybody? This is Brobot and
Don Juancho,
and we're bringing you another replay here. We got a little bit of a different format here. This is actually a game that I played myself earlier today, so I'm going to take you through this little build that I've got worked out here that gives Terran some trouble, and tell you a little bit about it. So this one's on Antigua Shipyard.
Wait, hang on a second. Hang on. This isn't the infamous Mothership rush, is it?
I'm afraid so.
Whoa! I can't believe you're sharing the secret.
I'm afraid so. Well, I'm assuming only Protoss are watching this, and I can share this with Protoss, you know, the worldwide. Terrans, I don't necessarily want watching this or studying this because then they'll figure out how to beat it. Although it's pretty hard to beat, I must admit. I mean, you know, got me into Masters, but that's a different story.
Well, hopefully they don't see enough of this so they don't realize how to counter it.
Yeah, and actually one of the reasons I think I win with this a lot is because people just don't ever see it and don't know what to do. And a lot of people think like, oh, Mothership rush, that sucks. It's like you know, gimmicky or whatever. It's a little gimmicky, yeah, but like back in the day, you used to actually see games like this, like with Kiwikaki or with Huck. Actually, I think pulled it out of MLG, the infamous "Oh, don't worry, that's Halo" comment.
And,
that one.
So I noticed that you threw down a 13 gateway. Is that a big? You think that's a big deal, or is that just
yeah,
standard?
13 gateway PvT is like super standard. You want to get it right after your second chrono boost. I'm going to deviate from standard here in just a second with a really early second gas. The normal timing on a second gas is going to be right after your cybernetics core, but you need tons and tons of gas. Actually, the limiting factor in getting your mothership out as fast as possible is the gas, rather than the tech. So I don't even really delay the cybernetics core here too much, maybe a couple seconds. But if a Terran is smart, they're going to see that second gas and something's up. They're probably not ever going to suspect mothership. They're probably going to suspect DT. Could be a common tech route for that really early second gas.
Okay, and he did scout it, so...
Oh, yeah, they're always going to scout it.
Yeah, okay.
And that's okay. I mean, they can be on their toes. And actually, you're going to see how this guy reacts a little bit later. And I don't mind them reacting the way that most people do react, and that is... a lot of Terrans will get an early command center, which is pretty normal, and they'll see that I'm on one base for a long time, and they'll get a whole bunch of bunkers right up in the front, and I don't mind that at all because Mothership's got this sweet little deal that lets you bypass that all those front bunkers.
That's pretty nice. That's with the recall, right? That's the new orbiter.
Exactly.
So this is fairly standard. They will just expand on you, fast expand somewhat.
Well. Yeah, I would say that's well, for sure it's like the standard play. Although you do see a lot of early aggression from Terrans, like 2-Raxes and 1-1s.
I could see that. So what is it? Just that since there's a narrow choke, you can just force field, and since you don't have the expansion, does that kind of play into how you handle it? Okay.
This is so easy to stop early aggression. It's really simple for any Protoss to stop early aggression on a single base. But the metagame, the standard for Protoss is to get a fast expansion off of one gate, and you usually get that. You get the expansion up after the first stalker's out. That is like the standard, the normal timing. Typically, what you're going to want to do is you're going to like scout as much as you can with your probe, get your first stalker out as fast as possible to scout with that, and see if you're going to anticipate early pressure or whether you're going to have an expo. So if you see them getting an expo and you're going the standard fast expand, then you know that you don't need to get tons of units out immediately, and you can, you know, chrono boost probes and stuff like that.
Okay.
If you do see some early pressure coming, though, you need to get 2 more gates up like immediately, and you want all your chronos to go into units. And then, like the telltale sign, if you see the Terran has a bunker at the top of their main, they're on one base. That's like a huge indication they're going to go for some kind of 1-1-1, which is really tough to stop if a Terran's really good at 1-1-1, in which a lot of them are, the Diamond and Master Leagues.
Okay, and it looks like...
Notice another thing. What's that?
It looks like he just got in to scout you. I noticed that you just scouted him, and that you noticed that he had the expansion. So what...
Yep.
So what...
Now, do you see this SCV of his going in here?
That's what I'm saying.
I actually got really lucky here. Like, watch his vision CV.
Oh, wow.
So he sees 4 gates, and he sees me on 1 base. So he's thinking of 4 gates coming. And so what does he do? And he does not see any of the gimmicky error. He doesn't see the fleet beacon. He doesn't see the Stargate. So what's he going to do?
Quite lucky.
Oh, yeah, I did get really lucky. But he thinks he scouted 4 gate. He thinks... he knows what's going on. He's got 1 expansion. He's got 2 base. I got 1 base. All he's got to do is hold his pressure, and he's good. He's sweet. He's on 2 base all in 1.
Wow. And look, he has 5 SCVs just hanging out right by his bunkers, just ready.
It's coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, I guess he's very scared of that.
Yep.
So you're just gonna macro up for a little bit right now, get your mothership out, right?
Yeah. Okay. So I've got the timings worked pretty well on this, and all the distribution and all that, and you want to get 4 gates up as fast as you can. Obviously, you want nothing to hinder your mothership coming out. Also, another thing. So I scouted that he had a fast expansion, so I skipped getting a sentry, and so I could get the mothership out a little bit quicker. But what I do, and as far as I know, this is pretty good. I don't know, maybe someone knows of something better, but I always get I go Zealot Sentry till I get out 4 sentries. 4 sentries, you're gonna have plenty of energy. You're gonna be able to force field the ramp indefinitely. And then once I get 4 sentries out, I get as many stalkers as possible, because you can micro stalkers, and usually you're going to be up on the ramp and you're going to be trying to shoot down, and they're a lot more effective than zealots in that situation, which I intend to make the situation here pretty soon when I bring it to this guy.
Okay, and so what happens if they just engage you in the center? Do you just depend on the force fields to kind of cut the army in half?
Yeah, well, I know that he's on 1 base, so I know here I can just move straight out. But if
what do you mean? You mean 2 bases?
Sorry, I know that he's bunkering up and playing real defensive. But if I'm not sure, and I think there's an army out there, I want to keep all my army together, and I want to keep the mothership with my army. And as long as I'm careful and all that's together, and I meet his army mid range or whatever, I can get up good guardian shields and force fields, and can usually beat Terran army at this point in the game, because I've been pumping off 4 gates, aside from the mothership, so I should actually not be doing too bad compared to him as far as units.
Yeah, it looks like army supply, you're actually up right now. You're up about 6 army supply, but 23 workers to 46.
Yep. I mean, yeah, no doubt this is all in for me. I got to do big damage here in order to win, but that's the whole point, and that's what's going on. So he still does. He just scanned the mothership. Sees it. And this is the first thing he sees.
Wow.
And he hasn't had any time to think. He's been thinking the whole time.
Wow.
Now it's mothership. He's I don't even know.
No way.
But some people will scout it and they'll be like, "What is that? I don't even know what to do. I've never seen that."
Oh man! So he is just.
We're right there.
It looks like his whole army is caught right now.
Everything down there at the bottom. I'm gonna kill his production.
Wow! And he's trying to run these SCVs, and it's just not gonna work. Good timing on the force fields too. Man, these SCVs are just getting eaten up right now.
Smart. Yeah. So what's great about this kind of move in general, and there's sort of another way you can do an attack similar to this without a mothership, where you get blink stalkers and you get war prism, and you unload the sentries at the top of the ramp and you blink in the stalkers. And so the thing about this, though, maybe it was a day 9 or something like that, I think it was, where he was talking about each race and what specific thing that you should try to kill for that race. And it's kind of what's each race's weakness. So he talks about, for Terran, it's his production facilities, because if you take out the production facilities of the Terran, they have a really, really hard time replacing those. And what he would say for Protoss is that you want to take out the probes, because they have a really hard time getting their economy up if they don't have probes. And then for the Zerg, you want to take out the tech, because that's their limiting factor for what they can do. So anyway, as you can see here, I'm pretty much clearing out everything that he had in his main base.
Yeah, it looks like it's basically clear. So one interesting thing, it seems like, couldn't he just load up his dropships and then kind of elevator in, or does that just not work?
Yeah, some people try to do that, and as long as I see it and know what's going on, I mean, look at all the stalkers I have. I
Oh
can
yeah, you can just pick them off.
usually snipe them, or at least, I mean, he's only going to be able to have about half of his army at a time in drop ships, and so I usually still handle that. Also, you might not have noticed this, but at the bottom right of his base, I put a little pylon down there so I can keep reinforcements coming in from the top. Yeah. One little mistake that I made here that I could have and should have done is killed all the supply depots up at the top.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Preferably, I would have done that.
Yeah, that would have really supply blocked him right now. But so right now you're still on one base, and he's still on one base also. Granted, you said.
You know what? A lot of times they'll just GG at this point. I mean, what can he really do? He's just gonna bunker up on this base. I don't realize he has that that second base down at the left that's normally at his third place. So at this point, I'm gonna basically back off and
do the recall out. Yeah, I like that.
I'm gonna get a little.
Oh, you all right over there?
And, we're gonna go. Yeah.
Getting a little excited.
We're gonna start playing standard now, except with the mothership.
With the mothership, and yeah, I could comment. Definitely want to scout that third, but I guess you're probably used to people's GGing anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Plus, I mean, come on, I killed all his production facilities. Like, he's gonna have a hard time coming back from that. So I figure I'm pretty much ahead a lot here, and so I'm just going to go back. My plan now is just to get Colossus, which can outrange those bunkers and just like finish it off pretty easily. And I also noticed that he didn't have a whole lot of Vikings. That's one thing that some Terran players will do when they see a mothership is get tons and tons of Vikings just to take it out, which that works. That can mess it up. But I did kind of get lucky with this guy. He didn't scout the mothership at all until it was too
but then wouldn't you not want to get Colossus if he goes 2 on board with the Vikings?
Yeah, exactly. But I didn't think he was going to have too many. Plus, I have a whole bunch of stalkers out, so I figured Colossus would be good.
It does look like he's getting Starport Reactor. I wonder if he's going to get a Raven. Seems a little bit much, but. Well, I guess we'll see. He's not making anything right now.
Well, look at the very top left of his natural. Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking with this, but we'll have to see how it plays out. How it holds up.
The old cattle bruisers, eh? Maybe he just thinks you're like a one-base noob or something like that. And he's just gonna macro up and beat you.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's like in a better position than you.
Yeah. Well. He's going to be on 3 bases pretty soon. I feel like he did a lot of damage, but well, I guess it's just going to come down to the timing.
Yeah, but the key was killing off the production facilities. If I just took out some SCVs, then he'd totally still be in it, especially mules to come back. If I just took out like I don't know a starport or maybe like one tech lab, then he wouldn't be. Then he would still be like totally in it. I'm not saying he's 100% out, but I mean, how much production facilities he got? I can see 2 barracks, and obviously the 2 starports. He's trying to get cattle bruisers. Is that what you call them? And I'm not sure why he did this, but I'm almost thinking that I mean, like my strategy pretty much worked. He didn't have production facilities, but he still had a bunch of income coming in. He's probably like, shit, I got these starports. I might as well just get something expensive out of them. Maybe that's what he was thinking. Because, I mean, it's going to cost him so much resources to slap down a bunch of barracks, which is like he would really like to have right now, pumping out a bunch of Marines and Marauders.
And it looks like he doesn't have that big of an army. He has 3 Marauders, 23 Marines, and 2 Vikings. He does have 44 SCVs, though, which is a little more than you. You're at 31 right now. So...
Yeah, and I got a new expo because my main, well, not because, but my main is pretty much out.
Yeah, it looks like you were supply blocked there for a little bit. Both of you guys are kind of getting supply blocked. Looks like he's coming in for a little drop here too. See if this does any damage.
Well, I got my whole army right there, not too far away. Besides, he's going after the empty base where there's not as many.
Yep, getting some probe kills. But it looks like he's going to have to pick up here and drop away. Still a little bit of harassment. I think that's always a key thing when you're down. You really have to harass as hard as you can.
Yeah, and do something like big to come back. And he's got 3 bases, which that's definitely a way you can try to
Yeah.
do it.
But it looks like you are coming out here, coming out for the final blow.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
bringing
it
the
seems
heat.
like a really good timing. It's like you said, you took all his production facilities, so this is about the time where he'd probably be able to gear up again. So if you attack before he gears up, it seems like good
Yeah.
timing.
Plus with the 3 Colossus, I mean, it's hard as hell to deal with unless you got tons
Mhm.
of Vikings. Which, I mean, he probably would have done better if he had more
So,
Vikings.
so for
But
us noobs, is it having about 3 Viking or 3 Colossus? Is that kind of like a standard time to push out, just in general?
yeah, the Colossus definitely get better the more you have. Like, two's better than one. 3 is like I would say optimal
Mhm.
in my opinion. 4 or 5 is like pretty good too. But if you get too many, like 5 or more, then the Vikings like really become like they're gonna do a much cost too much of a
Okay,
cost
I
effective
I see what you're saying here.
trade. I don't know if
Yeah.
that makes sense, but usually the standard is after you get like 3 or 4 Colossus is when you want to
Oh, so
transition
just
into
watching this battle here,
Templars.
you just got the vortex on all the cattle bruisers. That's very nice. So what? So what are you doing here? Are you just gonna surround them? I mean, that's what's awesome about the vortex. You just get such a nice surround on everything.
Yep.
You can really set them up.
Yeah, I just kind of throw everything in. I figure I'm good. And the point of that vortex was mainly just to
Mhm.
freeze those battle cruisers, take them out of the game, so I could kill all the other stuff around it. And that's pretty much what it did. And then I got the stalkers right under the battle cruisers, so there's no way that
Mhm.
they're going to run away. And still had the mothership sitting there, so they're not going to be able to attack anything but the mothership unless they
Mhm.
scan. So
That's GG.
yeah,
Looks like he enjoyed the game.
that is it.
That was a crazy game. I have no idea what you just did right there, but it was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to have all the high tech
Yeah.
stuff come out there. So, what do you think about the different format playing my own
Uh,
map
I
or
like it,
match?
and I guess we'll see what our fans think. Hopefully they enjoy this. Hopefully they learn something from a Masters Protoss. So, yep, let us know. Check us out on YouTube, the Dawnbot channel, and on Reddit on the Cast It forum. All right, signing out. This is Don Wancho.
And Brobots, see ya.